What's good? Today is Tuesday, March 31st. It is about 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I ain't even gonna hold you. I don't really have much prepared. I am tired. I went to a Hindu temple yesterday with my sister, so that was like really really cool, but I did not get back home until like after midnight and I was exhausted. Today I had to fight in battle to get out of bed, had to fight in battle to come to the gym, had to fight in battle to pretty much be productive. I did not want to do anything whatsoever. But here I am. Here's another day. I'm just leaving the gym now. I just picked up some food. I'm definitely not cooking today. So I picked up some food that should last me for the day. But today's topic that kind of came to mind is something from Chris Williamson, per usual. And it was a video of him talking. I hope I didn't make a video about this already. But it was a video of him talking, and it goes, "It is easier to be interested than interesting." And this goes in terms of talking to people, and he is 100% correct. He is 100% right, and it's a practice that I have started consciously doing more. I used to do it before, and then I noticed I kind of just got lazy, especially when it came to like talking to people. I just was like, I ain't care. But now recently, I don't know what, but I've kind of have had like a second wind in terms of wanting to talk to people more, get to know people more. So I've started to practice this again. And what it means is it's hard being interesting. It is very hard to be somebody who's charismatic, who's able to tell great stories, who's full of energy and who attracts a lot of attention and who has a certain aura about them. It's very hard to be that person to be interesting. But it's very easy to be interested because all you have to do is listen. All you have to do is look at the person, make eye contact, listen to what they're saying, and then ask them questions or make comments based off of what they're saying and just continue to build off of that. And what I've noticed is everybody loves when you're interested in them, especially because a lot of times everyone is narcissistic. You know, that's a statement from Robert Greene, and it's something that I've believed and I've kind of carried with me for years. Everyone is narcissistic. Everybody loves to hear their name. Everybody loves to hear themselves talk. Everybody loves themselves. So when you actually sit down and someone's talking about themselves and then now you're showing immense interest in them and in their story, bro, people eat that up. And that is how I've made certain connections. That is why people like me and I have pretty good relationships with people, is because I don't really talk much about myself. I talk about myself when needed, when it's appropriate, but I mainly just listen to what someone has to say. And I ask questions about other people, and I just continue to keep the conversation almost centered around them in a certain way. Obviously, you can't just like bombard them question after question after question because now it feels like an interview. So you got to do it in a slick, playful way, and also you interject with little things about yourself. So that way it does make it seem like this is a back and forth. I'm not interviewing you, but you might make a statement. I'll be like, damn, I remember I did that X amount of years ago. It was really, really fun. Tell me more about your experience or something like that. So that way it's a little bit more of a back and forth, and it's not just like an interview per se. But people love when you're interested in them. They love when you're interested in their lives. And the trick to being interested is just caring. Like actually care when someone is talking to you. Actually listen when someone is speaking to you, and almost put yourselves in their shoes and treat them as if they're someone that you care and someone that you love and that you actually want to be there. And when you give off that kind of energy and you truly deeply care, the conversation flows and people want to continue to talk to you. I mean, I've had relationships with people where they didn't know much about me, but I knew a bunch about them. But they liked talking to me just because I would sit there and listen to them. And also, I think about this, and this specific statement, nah, I wasn't going to say it. I feel like it's more prominent in older people, but I guess now in today's generation, it's prominent in younger people too. But a lot of people don't have people to talk to. A lot of people don't have anybody that's going to actually listen to them. Whether it's listen to their problems, listen to their stories, listen to their life, whatever that may be, is everyone's kind of so engulfed in their own life that nobody actually listens to other people. And people are craving that. And you'll realize that the more you start to talk to people, like people really want that. And the reason why I brought up older people is because I have noticed sometimes older people really go on a rant. And I've noticed this working at a hospital. And it's kind of come to my mind that some people have no family. So like a 80-some-year-old woman will come down or a 70-some-year-old woman will come down and I'll just talk to her on some I gotta get your exam done. But sometimes like she'll open up and she'll just go on and on and on and on. And sometimes it's a little busy and you gotta cut them off. But other times I actually sit there and think because I'm like, there's a chance you don't have family. There's a chance nobody comes and visits you. That nobody, whether that's due to nobody cares, whether that's due to death, there are just times where people don't have other people in their life. So I kind of view that as the Lord put me in a position to where I can be your ear. I might only be here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It might not be that long, but I could be your ear. I could listen to you. I could be the person that you could kind of vent a little bit to. So, but that goes for many people. That's not even just old people. That's young people, especially in today's age. I mean, I feel like everyone is more engulfed in themselves, more engulfed in online and social media. People are significantly more isolated, especially now with video games and with VR, and just with the ability to just stay inside. You don't really have to go out, to be honest with you. Some people even work from home, so it even shows like you don't even got to leave your crib to make money for real. You don't have to interact with people. You go to the store and not talk to nobody and come back home. So the fact that we are not having these interactions, I've noticed people are craving it. So when you sit there and you listen to somebody and you ask questions about somebody's life and you actually care and they sense that you care and that you want to be there, they fall in love with you. They want to talk to you because you're giving them something that they don't have. You're giving them something that they lack. And it's something that I have noticed over my years. Like I said, I used to do it more a couple years ago. Then I kind of slacked off, and now I'm starting to do it again. And once again, I'm still getting similar results in terms of people want to talk to me. People are happy that they get to talk to me. And I get to pick people's brains, and you ask them different questions, whether it's about themselves. Something Trey taught me is don't be afraid to ask a question that you think might be a little inappropriate. Not necessarily inappropriate, but just maybe a question other people might not ask, question that might be a little bit on the line, but you ask anyway. And I've noticed damn near every time people answer, they never get offended. So that's what I would say. I think a lot of people want the spotlight, so they try to be interesting, but it's hard to be interesting, to be 100% honest with you. It is very hard to actually be interesting, and it takes a lot of energy to be interesting. Me, myself, um, I think it's cool and I would like to work on being interesting, but I do know myself. There are times where I don't want to talk. There are times where I am laid back, and it's significantly easier just to take the interested route, especially when the interested route also is a position of power because there are just times where people are just going to open up about you and they don't know nothing about you. Excuse me. People are going to open up about themselves and they know nothing about you. So they'll tell you their whole life, but don't know a damn thing about me. And how I view it is I'm sitting here with all this information about this person, but they have no information about me. Now, if I was an evil person, I could take that information I know about them and use it against them. But I don't believe that's morally right. I don't believe that's what the Lord intended us to do with information that people entrust us with. I think that's how you ruin your character and ruin your integrity and get a bad reputation. So I don't do that. But I do kind of like just also being in that position as well. It is kind of nice to get information and not necessarily have to give up anything. But anywho, it is easier to just be interested in somebody else's life and just sit there and listen and have their conversation either flow around them, flow around a certain topic, and then also being interested, you learn. You learn. A lot of the times I'm interested in people, or a lot of the times I'm interested in somebody and they end up teaching me something, no matter the age, no matter what. I get an insight into how this person brain works, how this person brain thinks. I get an insight into certain scenarios that they have lived out that I never have, but they can teach me and kind of lead me down the right path. Even if it's not advice, they might tell me a story of how they got bit in the behind, and now I know, oh, okay, I was actually thinking about doing that, but now I won't do it because you done told me a story about how bad your experience was. So being interested also just leads to you learning and just becoming more knowledgeable about life and about people themselves. So that's going to be my rant today. Focus on being interested, not necessarily interesting. There's nothing wrong with becoming interesting, but I think you're going to have to fight a little bit harder to do so, and you better have the charisma and aura to pull it off. Other than that, people are probably just going to look at you as being narcissistic and not want to bang with you. But if you're interested in someone, no one's ever really going to call you a narcissistic for being interested in somebody else. So that'll be it. I'm going to go home and force myself to be productive. I ain't even going to hold you. I am tired. I do not want to do anything that is productive. The fact that I'm here at the gym is a major win for me, and the fact that I'm actually sitting in front of this camera talking is a major win because I almost didn't do it, but here I am 10 minutes later. But anywho, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Brody, I love you. Keep your head up. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep working on your interactions with people. Keep working on listening and being interested in people and not necessarily having the conversation revolve around yourself. But I'll catch you later. Peace.